Hello, students. Now we will read the lesson 6 Population of Geography Class 10th Maharashtra Board. So let's start. Population is an important resource of any country. The qualitative aspects of a population are important for a nation's economic, social progress. Let's study the population of Brazil in India. This is the map of India. See, these dotted points are population. Population distribution 2011 1 dot is equal to 2 lakh people. Population density 2011. Here different shades are given. More than 500 number of people per kilometer. Dark color means more than 500 kilometer and less color means less than 100. See this distribution. Distribution of population, India population density. Population is an important resource of any country. The qualitative aspects of a population are important for a nation's economic and social progress. Let's study the population of Brazil and India. Geographical explanation. India's population is around 121 crores according to census 2011. India is the second most populous country in the world. India occupies only 2.41% of the land area of the world, whereas it supports 17.5% of the world's population. India's average population density is 382 persons per kilometer as per 2011 census. This is left. Study the maps in figure 6.1a and 6.1b and answer the questions. States with highest density population, states with lowest population density. On the basis of the maps given above, classify the distribution population in India in the following table. Serial number 1, 2, 3, 4. Population density per square kilometer less than 100, 101 to 250, 251 to 500, more than 501. Name of the states or union territories will be written here. Correlate the climate and physiography of India with its population distribution and write a note on it. Geographical explanation, we already seen this. Now come to here. In India, population is very unevenly distributed. Physiography and climate play an important role in the distribution of population. Due to the fertile land, plain land, and availability of water, human settlements have been established in these parts of for many centuries. Due to farming, industries, and trade, the proportion of the population got concentrated in few places. For example, the northern plain of the country, Delhi, Kolkata, Mumbai, Pune, Bangalore, Chennai, etc. On the contrary, in mountains, hilly regions, dry desert areas, dense forest areas, density is sparse because of inaccessibility, absence of facilities, and tough life. Brazil. Observe figure 6.2a and 6.2b and answer the questions. See, similarly, map of Brazil is also given. 6.a population distribution in Brazil and 6.2b population density in Brazil. Light colors means less population, dark colors mean more population. Here, Sao Paulo and Rio de Janeiro having most populous. Here by dot dot also you can see. Then questions. In which area is population greatly concentrated? In which area is the distribution of population sparse? Prepare a note on factors responsible for the uneven distribution of population based on study of Brazil you have made so far. Identify the type of map showing distribution. Graphical explanation. Brazil is the most populated country in the South American continent. With a population of around 19 crores, according to census 2010, it ranks 5th in the world. It is also the 5th in the world with respect to area. Brazil occupies 5.6% of the world's total land and has 2.78% of the world's total population. Therefore, the density of population is around 23% per square kilometer. The distribution of population is very uneven in Brazil. The majority of Brazilians have concentrated within 300 kilometers of the eastern coastal plain. Therefore, agriculture and industries have flourished well here. As a result, higher density of population is found here. On the other hand, the interior of the Amazon basin is very sparsely populated. Unfavorable climate, heavy rain, inaccessibility, and dense forest are the barriers to development of human settlements here. Therefore, settlements occur only in few places in the Amazon basin. The central and western part of Brazil is less populated. The density of population in the highlands of Brazil is moderate. Use your brain power. One man figure is equal to 80 people. A and B. Calculate the population density of area shown in 1 square kilometer of square in A and B each. So we have to count the number of people and multiply by 80 for each of the two boxes. Then we will get the total population. Population composition, sex ratio. This is for sex ratio Brazil from 1997 to 2011. What does this graph show? This graph shows the sex ratio of Brazil and India. Second graph is of India from 1961 to 2011, same period. For Brazil also it was from 1961 to 2011. Here we can see sex ratio of Brazil is increasing, whereas in India this is also slowly increasing but still below 960. This is about 950. And in Brazil this is more than 1000. 1070 this is about. What is sex ratio? Sex ratio means the number of females per 1000 males in region. It is evident from the graph that the number of women in Brazil have always been more than men, while in India they have never been more than men. Geographical explanation. With reference to both the countries, the characteristics of population are prominently notable. The sex ratio of Brazil has been more than 1000 since decades. Considering the sex ratio of Brazil, the number of women have considerably increased than men since 2001. In India, men outnumber women. In India, we see fluctuations in the sex ratio since few decades. There has been a slight increase in the sex ratio after 1991. Always remember, save girl, teach girl is the need of the hour in our country. Beti bachao, beti padhao. Give it a try. What could be the reasons of lower sex ratio in any region? In India, number of men outnumber women. Is this condition found in all the states of India? Find out. Age and sex pyramid. Percentage of population. 0, 2%, 4%, both sides. This is for males and this is for females. This is for Brazil 2016. Here we can see Why, in, with increase in age, males population also increases. But after 40, 35 to 34 age group, men's population keep on decreasing, and beyond 89 it is almost zero. Similarly, for females also, with increase in age up to 34 years, this is increasing with age, but quickly starts decreasing with age up to 89 years. And this is for India 2016, same year. Here also graph is similar, but men's side, the length of blue lines are slightly bigger than pink lines. In India, after the age of 14 itself, the graph keep on decreasing for females also, and this goes up to the age of 94. Okay, let's see. This graph looks different. Yes, this graph shows age and sex of population. It is also known as population pyramid. What is its use? It is used to study the age and sex related aspects of a region's populations. Region's population. Does that mean that we can know the number of or percentage of various age groups of males and females in our country? Yes, of course. This helps us to know the proportion of children, youth, and the old people in our country. In this pyramid, we can see that the number of young people is more in both the countries, but the proportion of children is more in India, while proportion of people in the age group of 80 years is more in Brazil than in India. Geographical explanation. Considering the age of population, Brazil's population is getting slowly older, but in India the situation is different. The proportion of young in India is more. This means India has a higher working population. Try this. Using the graphs given above, find the difference between the males and females of various age groups. In which age group is this difference the maximum? Population growth rate. See, population growth rate of Brazil is decreasing from 3% to almost 0% from 1960 to 2000. And in India, in 1961, it was 2%, then it increased in 1971 to about 2.4%, then slowly it is started decreasing till 2011, it is about 1.5% growth rate of population India. It is still higher than Brazil. Brazil growth rate is decreasing to almost zero, slightly above zero, but India's is still 1.5%. In Brazil, it was 1.5% in 1980. After that it is less than 1.5% and is continuously decreasing. What do these graphs show? These graphs show the growth rate of population of Brazil and India. Oh, but here the graph line is going down. Why? Correct. Though the lines show a downward trend, it does it doesn't mean population is decreasing. It shows that the growth is lesser than the previous decade. Does that mean that Brazil's population is decreasing? No. This means that the growth is less and looking at the trend. In the near future, Brazil's population may decrease. Geographical explanation. The rate of growth of population has reduced considerably in Brazil. However, this is not the condition in India. From 2001 to 2011, India's population increased by 18.2 crores. India's population growth rate was higher till 1971. Then this rate stabilized. The rate of population growth is now declining, but the population is still growing. It is observed that in Brazil, the rate of growth is declining. The Brazil's population may not increase in the next 2 decades. Life expectancy. This is for Brazil life expectancy in 1960 to 2016. In 1960 it was 54, now it is 75 years. For India in 1960 it was only 41 years. Now in 2060 it is 68 years. These graphs show the life expectancy of Brazil and India, don't they? Yes, but what is life expectancy? This means the average number of years a person born in a country is expected to live. This means that we Indians live for 68 years on an average. Yes, Brazilians live for 75 years. The life expectancy of India was around 41 years in 1960, but now it has increased. It will continue to increase in future. Geographical explanation. Increase in life expectancy is an indicator of development of that society, improvement in health facilities, progress in medical field, access to nutritious food leads to an increase in average life expectancy. In most of the developing countries, life expectancy is still less, but with socio-economic development, it is increasing. Use your brain power. Is there a relationship between increase in life expectancy and growth of population? If yes, how? Literacy rate. For Brazil, literacy rate in 1981 was 74.6%, which continuously is increasing. Now in 2016 it was 92.6%. And for India in 1981 it was just 40.8%. This is also increased gradually to 72.2% in 2016. Try this. Write a similar conservation using the graphs in figure 6.7 based on the earlier conversation. This is figure 6.7. Use your brain power. If the proportion of dependent age groups increases in the composition of population, how will it affect the economy of a country? Give it a try. Study the indices of density maps of both the countries. What difference do you find? What conclusions can be drawn? Colors of both. Figure 6.3 to 6.7. Various aspects of population composition are given. Study the graphs, discuss and answer the following questions. Which country has the higher sex ratio? Which country has a higher literacy ratio? Which country has higher sex ratio? Which country has a higher literacy rate? Which country is growing at a faster rate? Which country's population has a higher life expectancy? Which country has a higher proportion of the old age people. Think about it. Considering the above discussion, what should be done so that our manpower is utilized properly, sex ratio improves, and population growth is controlled? Write 2 to 3 sentences on each. Do you know Census of India conducts enumeration of population every 10 years. Similarly, in Brazil, IBGE, that is Brazilian Institute of Geography and Statistics, carries out census every 10 years. The first census survey of both the countries was carried out in 1872. In India, census is conducted at the start of the decade 1961, 1971, etc. In Brazil, census is conducted at the end of the decade 1960, 1970, 1970, similarly 1980, 90, and so on. Okay, so this lesson is completed. Now exercise is there, then next lesson. So exercises we will do in another session. Thank you for listening. If like the video, click on like button, share with your friends, subscribe the channel and press the bell icon to get updates on similar videos when comes. Thank you and happy learning.